Shalom. Hope y'all feeling good. Hope y'all been blessed. We back with another one, a special one. BabyGodjr Radio, episode 6. Time I Spit with the Genius, featuring Amadeus Star. Stay tuned for the interview at the very end. And let's get into it.
I'm a genius, so they say that I am. I got the genius score on a genius exam. Genius in my mind, artist with my hands. Genius and an artist, so they say that I am. Oh, I'm a genius, so they say that I am. Till you know what I know, you can't understand. I'm wired to save the world, praying for the plan. A genius and an artist, so they say that I am. I am wired to save the world, praying for the plan. When you know what I know, you'll understand. Wired to save the world, waiting for the plan. When you know what you know, you'll understand now. Well, you say you're a lawyer, you say you're a priest, you say you have credentials for an Indian chief. But I am what I am, I'm not what I do. The silence is saying that I am who I am. And I am wired to save the world, praying for the plan. When you know what I know, you'll understand. Wired to save the world, waiting for the plan. When you know what you know, you'll understand. I get genius ideas at the break of dawn. The darkness looks darkest when the light goes on. It's simple, not easy, fast and pray. The silence will tell you the truth and show you the way. And I am wired to save the world, praying for the plan. When you know what I know, you'll understand. Supposed to save the world, don't know when or how. It could be tomorrow, I wish it was right now. Oh, I'm a genius, so they say that I am. Somos vivos sobre este. Encarnaciones amores, Santi. I did not dream of you last night, oh no. I did not dream that you would rescue me. I did not dream that you would open my door. I never dreamed that I would fall in love with dreams of you, dreams of you. I never dreamed there would ever be someone like you in my life. Dreams of you, dreams of you. I never dreamed I would dream of you. today when I saw you for the very first time. I was awakened by your lights. I did not dream of you last night, oh no, but I will dream of you tonight. Dreams of you, dreams of you. I never dreamed I would ever find someone like you. Dreams of you, dreams of you. I never dreamed I would dream of you. Dreams of you, dreams of you. I never dreamed there would ever be someone like you in my life. Dreams of you, dreams of you. I never dreamed I would dream of you. Dreams of you, dreams of you. I never dreamed I would ever find someone like you. Oh, dreams of you, dreams of you. I never dreamed I would dream you. So many years have gone by since I opened the door for you. Something I saw in your eyes gave me a subtle cue. I was a gentleman, you were an artist then, and I fell in love with you. I was taking a break from my holy pilgrimage. You were taking a break from a tempting marriage. We were searching for God, searching for love, longing for innocence, innocence. Oh dreams, will I ever get over you? Oh dreams, will I ever get over you? Old dreams of St. Clair. We tried to ignore failures and faults of our yesterdays, words we had spoken, vows we had broken, and debts left unpaid. Wanting a second chance, we were in such romance, blind as a dove, blinder than love. We made our love so deeply and so passionately. I closed my eyes, everything happened quite naturally. Your past was history, my path included thee. We were our destiny, destiny. Old dreams, will I ever get over you? Old dreams, will I ever get over you? Old dreams of St. Clair. We ignored the words in the warnings of all of those holy men, trying to justify lies concerning our innocence. But the writing upon the wall said we were bound to fall. Perhaps they were just kidding. Well, the story of our tragedy is about as old as the hills, tearing apart our lives and our hearts. We went through the mill, ground into powder, ground into dust, scattered in the wind, in the wind. Old dreams, will I ever get over you? 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 Old dreams of St. Clair. Time went where time goes. Where our love went, no one really knows. Well, I woke up this morning remembering you were in one of my dreams. Wanted to write you a letter asking you just what it means. I dreamed you said you were sorry for taking so long to forgive me, but the dream was only in my head, and they never make sense anyway. So I wrote this song instead. That you should check it out. Eye to eye and face to face, leaving you without a doubt. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, live forever. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, live forever. I will baptize you with water and I will baptize you with fire. I will baptize you with music, lifting you beyond desire. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, live forever. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, live forever. Think it's not my business? Am I being much too bold? Well, y'all transmitted my religion to realize our collective soul. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, live forever. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, live forever. Everywhere, not a drop to drink. The miracle of living water is closer than you think. I will bless you with the water Yahweh has placed within my hand to initiate your journey into a life without an end. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, live forever. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, live forever. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, live forever. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, live forever. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, live forever. Forever and ever.
A man is strong.
This is a very special interview with a very special person, Mr. Amadeus Starr. How are you today?
I am awesome.
That's good, that's good.
Given the choice, you know. Throw these out before
So this is an interview with a genius.
I don't say I'm a genius. I say that people say I'm a genius. And of the two things, I prefer that people say I'm a genius than that I say I'm a
Instead of
genius.
yourself, right? Yeah. That's
Get much better mileage out of that.
So how long have you been making music?
I would say I started making music seriously or intentionally in the early 70s,
Oh wow.
like around 74 or 5 maybe, something like that. But before that, I wrote a song probably in the 60s, nothing like, it was just a random event. And I plunked around at a piano when I was probably in the 50s. You know what I mean? But we had a piano in the living room and I never played it, but I probably played chopsticks or something, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pots and pans.
Yeah. But mostly I was a visual artist, compulsive visual artist from birth till I turned 13.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And that ended.
you were saying some of your art here is from when you were 6?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing. Well, I probably started before that, but those are probably the ones my mom saved at some point.
Gotcha.
Do you know?
Yeah.
I probably was doing art. I don't know, tell me. I mean, if that was what I was doing at 6, I didn't just sit down and do those at 6 years old, right?
Yeah.
I had to kind of come to it probably.
Okay.
So I have no idea when I started. I mean, I have an idea. It was before I was sick. That was smart. So you're a genius, huh?
Slightly. I remember you telling me some very interesting backstories behind some of these songs, or the inspiration for a lot of the songs. And Khadijah was one that I kind of want you to reflect on once again for the listeners.
Khadijah. Okay, so what you want the backstories of Khadijah?
Yes.
Okay, you can Google her name and it'll come up with the story. It was very big in Los Angeles area. Her father was a filmmaker, amateur, but successful amateur.
Gotcha.
And he was working at USC or UCLA in the film department. And he was making kind of guerrilla movies, but he had aspirations. And he was Mideastern, I think, and therefore had some Mideastern social models that he was attached to. He married a California girl who didn't have those same models. And, you know, when they were young and foolish, they got married and had kids, and somehow hormones overrode intelligence. You know? And so, but after they were done having kids, the mother, the wife, years after they stopped, you know, maybe 10 years or 8 or 10 years after they had their last child, she was over it. She was over probably his very restrictive social models for the family and for the kids and her, and anyway, it wound up unworkable. Her being a California girl and him being Mideastern, and anyway, it was inevitable, maybe, that they split up.
Right.
And so she went with the kids, she went up into this small mountain community called Idlewild, leaving her husband. And he was furious about it because in his religion and his social models, you just don't do that, you know. And so complicated on top of that was the systems, the legal systems in this country were very unsupportive of his intentions, desires to get his family together and all that. And, you know, it's very libertarian,
Yeah.
you know, and somehow there was I got confusing stories, but so I'm not going to give you the two, and I'm not going to give you either one. But ultimately, she was dead. And Khadijah was in the house. I think she was hiding in a closet or something. I heard one story. She was 13 or 14. Her two brothers ran away when the father came, and he I don't know if he killed his wife and then went out and got gas and stuff and burned the house, or he came with that. I don't really know. I wasn't there. And I've read stories and there are different accounts. But so, whatever happened, the important thing is Idlewild is this community built around retreats. Christian retreats mostly, where people from the cities would come in groups from a church or a school or something and have a summer camp out, you know.
Okay.
And so the retreat idea of Idlewild applied to that specifically, but more generally to anybody that came up to Idlewild was kind of retreating from the world. Because Idlewild definitely is not in California. It's 5,000 feet elevation. It's in a whole different place,
Right,
you know?
Right.
Like you can go east, you know, a distance and wind up in Arizona, which is a different culture. Or you can go up the mountain a mile and it's a whole different culture, you know. And very small community at that time, probably 1,000 people lived there.
Wow.
And one gas station, you know, that sort of thing. And no traffic lights, to this day, actually. And so to tell you the things I know for sure, I think I know what I've told you for sure. And she died, her mother died, and her father committed suicide eventually.
Wow.
He took off, went in the forest, and he had a gun, and he committed suicide. And I don't know if the gun was used in the altercation with his wife or not. I don't know if it was his gun or her gun, because she was in the forestry service. She might have had a gun, you know. Maybe he used her gun. I actually wrote a play, which was kind of a imagination of what happened, but a conscious speculation about what might have happened. And I know that he went into the forest, committed suicide, and he was found eventually within a few days after the event. So Khadijah was dead. I don't know if she was murdered or if it was an accident. His wife is dead. I don't know if she was murdered or if it was an accident. You know, when people fight, especially people who are married fights, people get hurt.
Yeah.
But that's not necessarily the intention, you know.
Yeah.
They're not trying to hurt each other. They're just clawing at each other, you know, mostly. But anyway, so it was traumatic for the whole community, especially the young people, because she was in the middle school there. And the memorial service was planned, and I wrote the song for the memorial service.
Okay.
I wrote the song Khadijah for the memorial service. And they generously rolled out a piano for me to play that song for the gathering at the school, in the gymnasium at the school. And that's the first time I played it, was at the school.
Nice.
For her memorial. And that was in 1993.
Oh, okay. Closer to my time.
Yeah, so it's 31 years ago.
Yeah.
And it stuck with me. I felt that song has never been heard other than the memorial service. And maybe that's all it was supposed to be. I don't know. But since then, I've recorded it in the past decade. Over the whole decade, pretty much. I've been working on that recording. There's some pieces of it are from a rehearsal jam session, some pieces of it are from studio work,
Okay.
etc. So it's a collage of performances of the song under different circumstances.
Okay. That's a really deep story.
Yeah. And people ask me all the time, why are you so what are the words they use? I want to say engaged, but it's beyond that. Why am I so obsessed, they think, with this? I don't know, I'm an artist, and I'm sensitive, and it inspired me to write a song to express my grief. That's how I express my grief, whether I'm breaking up with a girlfriend or somebody, something happens or whatever, dreams don't come true. I write songs,
Which brings me to my next question. One of my favorite songs that I've heard so far is Dream of You.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta tell me about that one.
Okay. I didn't dream of you last night. Okay, well, that's interesting. I was in Idlewild. I don't know the year.
It still connects.
Huh?
The location still.
Well, I lived in Idlewild.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, for 30-something years, and I still have a house up there. It's not my house anymore. It's my wife's house.
Gotcha.
But it was our house.
Yeah.
And I keep going up there doing maintenance and improvements. I built a chapel on the land
Oh, nice.
decades ago, and I just did some maintenance on that a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And that chapel has served a lot of people, homeless people like these stories all overlap, because a typical story would be like, I was driving down the street one day, it was raining, we were on our way to a birthday party or something, and I see this guy on the side of the road in Idlewild with a blanket over his head in the rain. So I knew he was troubled and homeless maybe, and his name was Leonard. And I made a mental note, if he's still there when we go back, I'm gonna pick him up and take him home,
Right.
And the chapel was a refuge that I made available for people like him, even families sometimes. So anyway, I put him up in the chapel. He became very bonded with us. In fact, my wife Denise just told me 2 days ago that Leonard stopped by. And we're talking about 25 years ago that I picked him up on the side of the road. He's living in LA.
Nice.
He drives cab or something, or Uber, I don't know. But anyway, really nice man. I actually had a benefit concert. I held a benefit concert raising funds for him in Idlewild.
So you probably turned his whole life around just from.
Well, there are people who say that their life today is the direct result of meeting me, being influenced by me. I get that from time to time.
It's beautiful.
Because I'm very empathetic, and I really care for people. Are very shocked how much I care for them when I don't know them at all. Do you know what I mean? And it so impresses them. It's a consciousness altering, I guess. You know, it's consciousness altering.
Yeah.
And I don't really do anything. Do you know what I mean? It's not like magic or I have a formula or anything like that. I just care about people, you know. And it really, my wife is a saint for putting up with it, because she wasn't so motivated as I was to like bring Leonard home or some other person I saw hitchhiking on the side of the road, you know, this sort of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And give them a start, you know. Yeah. Oh, dreams of you. Oh, okay. So I was living in Idlewild, and when I lived in Idlewild, I did so many things. I'm getting off subject, off the question, but still on the subject. While I was living in Idlewild, I did art to earn money. I did art, I did carpentry, I taught school, I taught high school, I taught elementary school. What else did I do? That's about it. Teaching, and I never made any money at art. Do you know?
Yeah.
I won't say I never made any money. You know, I got some commissions, like I did the altar for the Catholic Church. I'll show you a picture of it. It's really beautiful.
Okay.
I'll try and bring that up while I'm talking. Yeah. So I was commissioned by some architects and contractors to do hand-carved stuff and specialty stuff. But mostly what people hired me for was things that nobody else could do. I had a reputation as a genius, okay? And people in the community approached me to do anything from teaching to, which is a high calling, you know, healing, doing healing work. I just, you know, healing work. I have a reputation up there as some kind of healer, but I'm just me, you know. I mean, it's just I do things and people get better, and you know. So
yeah.
they needed a title for that, you know. And then. Yeah, there's architects, you know, they have a problem with can't figure something out, they call me. There was a guru, had an ashram in Idlewild, asked me to help him write a book, you know? Yeah. So it could be anything. People got to know me. I'm the guy. If you had a flat tire, they call me. You know what I mean? Or if their kid just got hit by a car and they needed something done right away, you know? They call me, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. So, and that happens here now, you know? People have called, if their house is on fire, they call me. They don't call 911, they call me, you know?
That's wild.
Do you know what I mean? It is crazy. In fact, those pictures on the wall there, those two kids, those are there to bring up this subject, do you know? Like, why are those pictures there? Well, those are two young kids. I mean, they're like in their unit years, like some from 1 to 10, I think. But one of them, their mother called me in the middle of the night. Her kid had a high fever for a couple of days, and she called me to come fix it. So I did. And then the other one is a kid from across the street. Her mother called me, little girl. Some lamp fell on her head. She was bleeding or something like that. And she calls me to come over and do that. So
you stitch her up, or?
No, it didn't need stitches.
Oh, okay.
Things don't usually need stitches, but anyway. Dreams of you. So I'm living in Idlewild.
Okay.
And I was planning a show of my art, which I never made any money at, but it was a community service because people come and see my art and they like it, you know. So I was planning a show in this gallery called Ventana, which means window in Spanish. And I needed some photographs printed, 8 by 10. So I was walking in the door of this photography shop, you know, where they did film. It's a tourist town, so they did film developing and printing. And trying, this girl I'd never seen before, she had just come to Idlewild, and she came through there. She's a beautiful girl. Whoa. And I went home and wrote that song.
That's how it works, huh?
That's all it took.
That's amazing.
You know, and the words of the song are very consistent with that story. I just was like dazzled by this beautiful young woman, and I wrote that song.
Such a
And I'm still in touch with her today, actually. That was like 30 years ago.
She's still beautiful?
Probably. Yeah. I haven't seen her in 12 or 15 years, probably.
Oh, okay.
12 years. Because I go up to Idlewild, I just stay really tight with family and stuff like that, and I don't really. But I don't know if she's alive. I don't know if she's in Idlewild. I probably have her number. I could call her maybe. I'll do that. What was I? I was looking for something on my phone, a picture of something.
One of your commission pieces.
Oh, the altar.
Altar, yeah.
The altar, yeah. And I'll also see if I can call Trine and see if she's still alive. I have like 700 names in my phone book.
That's too many.
I attach to people. Do you know what I mean? I'm very. It's for life. You know, when I meet somebody and I like them or love them, it's a life thing. You know? We're married forever. You know, that's the way it is.
It's amazing, man. So I assume the song "Up in the Mountain" is you being in Idlewild still.
No, actually, I think I told you at the time, that is a cover song. I did not write that song.
Right, okay.
But it so spoke to me. It was like I had written that song. It was like, and I know the artist who recorded that, Patty Griffin.
Yeah.
I can't believe she wrote that song without being me.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Without having been through my life and my pilgrimage and everything. You know? And I just want to meet her and ask her how she got to write that song.
She's still alive?
Patty Griffin, yeah, she's still touring too. She's great. Very prophetic. Very prophetic. And this Up to the Mountain, you had to be me to write this song. I don't know. I just so I recorded it. Yeah.
Nice. And then lastly, one of the songs that I would use as the outro, Rise Up. You gotta tell me about that one.
Well, I think the hook for me to write that song, I mean, there's always a hook that comes to me, either an event or something in my mind or something I read, that I write the song around it. Okay? And the hook for that song for me, I don't know if it's the hook in the song, if not me, who shall it be? Mm-hmm. Okay? And that's what I started with, do you know? After I wrote Genius, do you know? And people were going, you know, a lot of people, most people love that song, and they see why I wrote that song, and they know me, but some people take a little, get an attitude about me claiming to be a genius. I said, well, if you listen to the song, I'm not claiming to be a genius. I'm saying people say I'm a genius.
Right.
You know? And, yeah. But there's some real profound things in that song, like just one thing I'll just say randomly is the darkness is darkest when the light goes on. The darkness is darkest when the light goes on. And I'm talking about morning meditation. And not only do you see more clearly all this, but also in your mind you see the darkness in the world more clearly at that you know, when your mind is clear, your mind is clear. You see the darkness and you see the light at the same time. You know? So people avoid it sometimes. They don't want to see the darkness.
Yeah.
So they don't see the light either. You know?
I guess we're going to touch on Julius Eastman.
Yeah. Well, you just added to the story of Julius Eastman.
Really?
Because for almost a year now that's been hanging there, so many people said, wow, what's it, how do you, who's Julius Eastman, or why do you know Julius Eastman, or something like that. Mm-hmm. And I didn't realize they were reading it on the thing. I thought they recognized him. But anyway, okay, Julius Eastman. He was one crazy artist. And he became famous for how crazy he was. His music was like so unmusical. You know, it's like that abstract kind of thing. And it was inevitable that we would hook up because he was so abstract and I was so representational. You saw the clay sculpture I did, John Lee.
Yeah.
You know, these are not abstractions, you know what I mean? These are like, this is like super realism, you know? Mm-hmm. And his compositions would be maybe just like one note played for a half an hour, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And his titles were always the thing. Just like with abstract art, if you go to a museum and you look at a painting and it has a title, you go, what the hell does that have to do with this? You know what I mean? And his music was like that. You know, it would have a title and whatever. So, part of the story of Julius Eastman is that he bought that sculpture and then gave it back to me when it was finished. And I cast it into fiberglass. And that sculpture has its own story. Do you know, that's a great story with newspaper articles and all kinds of stuff. And so Julius Eastman was in my life because we were at the same university. I was doing cancer research, and then I had a sculpture studio on the side, sort of. But that was my real passion, you know. And cancer research was an obsession because I wanted to cure cancer, you know. So one day, I went on a path, you know, and I was, as a scientist and an artist, going to follow Jesus by the law, by the letter of following him, you know, follow his footsteps. So that's its own story, and da-da-da-da-da. And after I did that for a while, I discovered something that I call classic mysticism, where I was like, God was with me all the time, every day. You know, God was speaking to me, guiding me, telling me where to go, what to do, all this kind of stuff. And also gave me the cure for cancer at that time. And I went on the campus where I was doing cancer research, where Julius was doing music. And they agreed to give me a whole greenhouse in the middle of campus. They cleared it out for me to show them how to cure cancer. They gave me these experimental animals that they injected with cancer. And then they were just going to throw them, after they did their research, they just throw them in the furnace, you know. So while I was doing that, or no, after I finished that, that's its own story, okay? So after I finished that, I had 3 kids, and a wife, and a Corvette, and a job doing cancer research, you know? And this art studio, and a girlfriend, and you know what I mean, and a life. And I gave up everything. I threw away my wallet, gave up my name. I had no name for years. I didn't even have a name. And just taken literally, leave everything and follow me, okay? And so after a couple of months of that, and I went off and fasted in the desert and all kinds of stuff, you know. I became enlightened, right, or whatever. And I would stop to visit my children and my wife every so often, okay, or something would happen and I would go and take care of business or something. And they moved to Colorado from Buffalo.
Oh, wow.
They moved all the way to Colorado. And it was near Christmas of some year. I'm guessing it was around 75, maybe, ish. I don't know. And, or 74. And they asked me if I would be with them for Christmas. And I said yes. And one of the instructions I got from God was to say yes. Whenever anybody asks me anything, say yes. Okay? That's your path. Your path will be determined by people saying, will you do this for me or will you do that for me, right? So I promised in the month of December sometime to be with my kids in Colorado on Christmas. Julius Eastman was doing a play in New York City on Christmas Eve. And he asked me if I would help him with the play.
And you had to say yes.
And I said yes. And all the while I'm just trying to control my anxiety, having confidence that God was going to work this all out somehow, you know. So it may have been Christmas Eve or the day before. I'm telling you, it was such a tight 3 or 4 days. I don't know whether it was 3 days or 4 days or 2 days. You know what I mean? But I'm in New York City, needing to be in a place called Alamosa, Colorado, which is really remote, on Christmas. And I'm in New York City with no money, no name, no ID, no luggage, right? And I did the play with Julius. And I went to stay with a friend of mine in New York, Noah Greenberg, who was a collector. He collected a lot of my work. He wound up with that sculpture, actually. Okay? Wow, that's interesting. So I go to Noah Greenberg's. He's got the sculpture. Because when I gave up everything, I just put all of my art in a vault, and then I couldn't pay the thing because I didn't have any money. And Noah was a friend of mine. He said, "Well, I'll just bail it out. I'll buy it all for the cost of, you know." By that time, I owed them about $1,000 or something like that, and they were going to auction this stuff off or throw it out or something. So anyway, Noah wound up with all my art. So I went to Noah's and spent the night. And I went to bed with a big smile on my face because I knew I had to be in Alamosa, Colorado by midnight the next day. Okay, before midnight. I needed to be there for my kids on Christmas Day somehow. So I went to bed saying, this is going to be good. You know, so I woke up in the morning and I got instructions to go to the airport. So I went out, walked out the door. My friends were sleeping. It was probably 7 o'clock in the morning or something, I don't know. And I got on the subway going to the airport, LaGuardia. And the subway, and there was turnstiles, you know? Mm-hmm. And I just hopped over the turnstile, got on the subway. There was cops there and everything, and they didn't do anything or say anything. And I didn't do anything sneaky or anything like that. That was one of my commitments when I started going there. I said, okay, I'm not going to cheat or steal or anything, you know, I'm just going to
catch a free ride.
Going, do you know? So I went on the subway. The subway ends and I had to get on a bus to go to another thing. Got on the bus, said good morning to the bus driver. He said good morning. I got on the bus, never had a token or any money. And he drops me off at the airport. Now, what's the probability? I mean, think about this. A random bus ride to a random terminal in the airport. And the door's open. And it says, flight something to Denver, Colorado, boarding at gate something. I went to the gate. And I get there, and there's nobody at the gate. All the seats are empty, and there's two stewardesses or hostess looking around. And one of them comes running up and she says, "Are you going to Denver?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Get on the plane." And she grabs me by the arm and drags me on the plane. And she says, "Get in your seat. Take on your seat." She says, "There's a lot of empty seats." I flew to Denver. Now, I found out on the flight that that flight had had mechanical problems that started in the morning when I woke up. And that plane was delayed. And people were getting pissed off, and they got on different flights. All kinds of things happened during, it was a whole day almost, you know? Because it was like, I don't know, maybe by this time it was maybe 2 in the afternoon or something like that. And these people were supposed to fly out at 7 in the morning. So I get on the plane, and then the time difference, I wind up in Denver probably 2 in the afternoon or something, I think, or 3 in the afternoon. I don't remember what time it was. And then I hitchhiked all the way to Alamosa and got there about 11 o'clock on Christmas Day. But the stewardess, they were wanting to get every passenger, they totally dropped protocol by this time because everybody was frantically getting on the plane, and she just thought I was one of the passengers and put me on the plane.
Nice.
So it would seem that that's what happened.
Everything worked out.
Yeah.
It's a crazy story. So we were touched on the cancer research, Julius Eastman, and some of your pieces.
So the cancer research is a big story just about cancer research in general, about cancer treatment. That's why I wrote the book, Cancer is Good for You. But you said you wanted to know about cancer research. You want to know about Julius Eastman, and what was the third thing?
Dead squirrel.
Dead squirrel. You have to watch the movie.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
It's 15 minutes. Is that all right?
That's fine.
Okay, so we can shut this off?
Yeah.
You can watch Dead Squirrel. We'll come back after you watch Dead Squirrel. The next layer of the Dead Squirrel story.
I'm still at shock after watching.
Yeah. Okay, so as you see, there's the check associated with the Dead Squirrel story. So the check occurred sometime later, less than 2 years, more than a couple months. But I can't really say, I have no idea. And there's a date on the check.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, if I had a date on the Dead Squirrel movie, we would know the answer to that question. But it's not really relevant, I don't think. So I get a call from Russ at midnight, and he told me this sad story about this 13-year-old girl who was going to be taken off of life support. She was hopeless and in a coma or unconscious. And just on life support, she was like brain dead. So after he told me the story, I said, well, what do you want me to do? And he said, I don't know. I said, well, I'm going back to sleep. He said, okay. So I hung up and went back to sleep. Now you'd have to know, if you see this book up there called The Story?
Yeah.
All right. Towards the end of the story, I was instructed clearly from God to not volunteer to do anything. like this.
Okay.
You know, because when people ask you to do something like this, it means they already believe that it's possible. If you volunteer, you're like kind of pushing it. And you need people not to have, people can have doubts. You know, the only amount of faith you need for a miracle to happen is to believe in the possibility. You know, you can have doubts all over the place, but if you believe in the possibility, you're good, okay? As a support, you know, that's why Jesus had 12 disciples, you know, to support what he was doing spiritually, you know, with their faith in the possibility. So, that's why I don't volunteer. So about a half hour goes by, Russ calls back. He says, I know what I want you to do. And I said, what do you want me to do? And I can't remember his exact words, but it was either I want you to heal her or I want you to bring her out of her coma. One or the other. Probably heal her. Probably I said, I want you to heal her. I don't know. I honestly can't say. I said, okay, where is she? And she was like 200 miles away in San Diego, in a hospital. So I said, well, and he was about halfway there. He was in Diamond Bar. So I said, well, I'll come to your place and then we'll carpool it. Because I had an old truck at the time, this 83 Ford. I would drive 200 miles. So I wish I had recorded the conversation, because him and his parents had a, you know, big car. They were kind of well off. And Russ and I were sitting in the back seat, and his mom and dad are in the front seat. And I wish I could have recorded the conversation we had. I remember thinking it several times. I wish I was recording this. What I spoke to them was channeled. You know, it was God speaking through me like an oracle to tell them so much about how miracles happen, how faith works, what, you know what I mean? It was just, I was learning from what I was telling them, you know, and I wish I had recorded it. And anyway, by the time we got to the hospital, they were ready. They were ready to believe in the possibility that I was going to bring this girl out of coma. And so I was very confident, you know, that it was going to happen, you know, but they were confident that there was a possibility. So I go there, and when I walk in the room, it's like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't even know what time it was. All her family and friends are in the room. It was like going into it, and the lights were all low, and it was like such a mystical experience. You know, it was like a Bible story of some sort with all these people gathered around this dead person, right? And it hit me. Oh my God. They saw the Squirrel movie. They're going to think that I'm going to do what I did in the Squirrel movie. They have no idea that I didn't know what I was doing with the Squirrel movie, and I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm on guidance, you know what I mean? I just do as I'm guided. And it was so challenging to think that they were going to expect me to do what I did in the Squirrel movie. And to this day, I have to ask them sometime. I don't know if they did see the Squirrel movie or not, but that was and I didn't want to have I didn't want to bring, because when I walked in that room, the energy became just perfect, you know, like, they were like holding their breath, you know what I mean? They weren't thinking, they were trying, you know what I mean? They were very supportive of the possibility. A hope, you know, they had hope. The people I came in with had faith in the possibility, and these people just had hope. So the room was filled with faith and hope in me, and this
dead person. So now she didn't seem dead because they were stopping rigor mortis because they kept her circulation going with the machines and they were controlling her temperature and everything. She would have had rigor mortis, if they weren't keeping her body biologically functioning. So, for the life of me, I never ever, in that whole time that I was working on her, all I knew that I had to do was I had to keep contact with her.
Right.
I had to keep contact with her. So she was all covered up and everything, so I exposed her left shoulder. And I laid my hands on her shoulder and I kind of moved them around so the family would see me doing something, you know what I mean? And to make a long story short, she came out of coma.
Wow.
And as soon as she came out of the coma, everybody went, yeah, there's talking, and the nurses come rushing in, and they kick everybody out of the room, call the doctors in, and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, I wasn't finished. I didn't come there to bring her out of a coma. I came there to heal her.
Right.
And I said, wait, no, we'll take over now, whatever. Egos. So that was it. So we're out in the hallway, and everybody's thanking me and this and that. And the mother says, how much do I owe you? And I just laughed. Says, what do you mean you owe me? I can't charge you for that, And it's not my profession, this is not what I do. And she's, no, I got it. So she forced a check on me for $500. Well, I will tell you, here's another funny story. Okay, an epilogue to that story, and that'll be it. Unless you want more, but we're going to talk about that. Years later, I'd always kind of lamented that I didn't get to heal her totally, in the hospital room. You saw how the squirrel, from 0 to 100,
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted her to be at 100. And anyway, so she became dependent on the doctors then from that point on to bring her from where she was, which was about 10%, maybe 20% recovered. And she had trouble speaking, she couldn't walk, she had all kinds of problems that I didn't ever want to tell her family, I would have taken care of all that,
Yeah.
But anyway, so, and I can't say something like that because what's the point? It's, if I had an ego problem, I would have said something like that, but I don't have an ego problem. So I just had to accept it as that was the limitation. So that was their journey. Now they had to do this journey, with her. And I thought, well, they could always call me, after she's out of the hospital. They go, while she's in the hospital, they can call me, could come back. Like I said, I don't volunteer. I didn't say, I can come back or whatever. I just waited. And it never came. The call never came. Until now, I'm not sure about the order of this, but I think it was years later, maybe. I don't know, it was sometime later, after she'd been through physical therapy and all that, and she was still on the road to recovery. She still had speech problems and kind of shaky walking and doing things and stuff like that. But she was very happy to be alive, and her life was fine. So I was on my way to a retreat in the vicinity of where they live. And so I decided to stop in. And see how she's doing. So, I was very supportive of her progress and everything. I didn't say, oh, you know, I could have done better or something, you know, I just let it go. So it was very nice seeing her. She was happy to see me. Her mother was happy to see me. And as I'm leaving, the mother pulls me aside. And she says, I don't want to seem ungrateful. She said, but for the past several months, I haven't seen any improvement in Cass. She was improving, and then for the last several months, it's like, do you think this is it? Do you think like this is as far as it's going to go? And I said, I don't know, but this is a great opportunity because I'm on my way to a retreat where I was going to just pray and fast for the world, you know. But I've always wanted to know what effect I could have from remote, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go out to my cave out in the desert, and I'm going to pray and fast for 3 days and 3 nights for Cass. For you to see some improvement, okay? Because I'm taking you at your word. You haven't seen any improvement for months. I'm going to go pray for improvement. Just like that. I'm not going to pray for anything in particular or anything like that. And let's see what happens. And she's, okay. She wasn't very enthusiastic about it, but she, accepted that was going to happen. So I'm walking out the door and I'm thinking, she's not going to be very helpful, because I didn't see her
right,
enthusiasm about this, right? So I went back and I said, because I had told her, I said, just keep your eye out for some improvement and call me. I'm not going to come back here. I'm going back to Idlewild after my retreat, and you can let me know if anything happened or what happened. So as I'm going out the door, I had this premonition that her paying attention with doubt wasn't going to be helpful. So I went back, I said, don't watch for any improvement, don't look for any improvement, just forget about it. For then I wasn't even here. I said, whatever is going to happen is going to be so obvious you can't miss it. She said, okay. So I assumed that's what she did. She just went on with cooking and sewing. Okay? So I went out in my cave and I prayed and fasted for 3 days and 3 nights for Cass. Then I went back to Idlewild, expecting I was going to have something on my answering machine or something. Nothing. Days went by, weeks went by, years went by. Maybe a year. Maybe at least 1 year, because I do this retreat at Easter time where I go out in the desert. So the next time I was going out to the desert, which was maybe a year later, maybe 2 years later, I don't know. I swing by again, say hi. And my daughter was with me, my daughter Anna, who is a few years older than her. Yeah. Anyway. So my daughter and Cass are sitting on the couch or on her bed or something, yakking and laughing. This was the first time they met. My daughter was the one that said, let's go. I'd never met Cass, so I might meet her because she knew the story. So as I'm ready to leave, again, her mother pulls me back to exactly the same spot, with the same voice, with the same tone and everything. She says, I didn't know, she didn't know what to say. She said, when you were here that time and you were going to pray for Cass for something, she said, well, something happened, but I knew it wasn't something you would be praying for because you had no idea that was a problem. And I said, well, I didn't say I was going to pray for something in particular. I was praying for you. This was for you. You wanted to see visible progress. Did you see visible progress? She said, well, the next morning while you were praying, she hadn't had her period since she went into the coma. And she was like 13, and she was having her periods regularly, and they stopped. And she never got her period for years. And while I was in my cave praying, her mother went into her bedroom in the morning, there was blood all over the sheets. And she never called me.
That's a sign.
You know, she never called me. And she never got it. She said, well, I didn't think that would be something. I said, I wasn't praying for anything specific. You know, I was praying for something obvious. You know? Anyway.
It's pretty obvious.
But that's that sheet with blood on it. It's in the hamburger.
Oh, you're gross. No, okay.
But it's not real blood. I just put red dye on it.
Oh, okay. You're not as gross as I thought.
Just to provoke this story.
Gotcha. Okay. I feel like this is not a one-time interview. You gotta definitely have to come
It's
back.
up to you.
For part 2, we'll come back and do another show.
Well, that's the problem, see. A lot of people have wanted to do something biographical about me, but it gets to be, like, it gets so, like, what is the story here? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, yeah.
You know, they think the story is going to be about my art, or they think the story is going to be about my music, or the story is going to be about...
Well, essentially, it's what I wanted to do was pretty much get in touch with the person. Because the person is the artist, the musician, the healer, things like that. So I figure, you know, getting in touch with the person versus attacking one thing, you know, it's more documenting you.
Well, when I think of myself as a person, I think of myself as a friend, husband, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, and friend. And I get more opportunity to be friends with people these days because all my wives and children and grandchildren are like off on their own.
You said
paths.
wives. You have wives?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I get more experience being a friend than I have being a husband, father, and grandfather, and great-grandfather.
Gotcha.
It's just the way of the world right now.
Yeah.
We don't stick together. I have 2 daughters close by, 1 great-grandson, and 2 grandchildren.
Okay, nice.
Within, 10 miles.
Nice.
Everybody else is either 100 miles or more
And
away.
then you got me around the corner.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I got my neighbors and people that live with me, and I just don't know any other way to treat people than like family.
Yeah. Well, it's been a very beautiful, insightful interview. Thank you for your time. Thank you for allowing me to even explore.
Well, thank you for your curiosity and interest and support.
Definitely saw a lot more than just wanting to share your music, So this is actually my first interview podcast where I get to talk to whoever I work with. So it's a pretty solid start, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of intimidating for whoever follows. But I'm in it for the long haul, so we'll see where this goes.
Well, before you go, I'd like to play one song for you.
Okay.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I know that God lives inside of me. I can hear him breathing. See him smile when I hug my little child. He is the one I believe in. And I know that God lives inside of you. 'Cause I can see him, and I see him smile. Whenever you smile, he is the one I believe in.
a timeless name and ageless eyes, and a hunger for life, a birthright ordained before paradise. She had a poet's dreams and a drawer full of lace. The walls of her room had pictures of gods from an earthly place, falling far from the stars to Hollywood Boulevard. She was a dancer in the darkness, an unsung song of love, a page of sacred manuscript. Kadisha, Kadisha, Kadisha. She escaped LA, running away from the danger zone, barely surviving with half of her life. Broken home, broken home, half alone. Broken home, half alone. Then she came to rest on this mountain so very high. Leaving low life behind, she climbed above the snow line. She came to live at the snow line. She came to give us a little time. She came to give us some precious time. Precious time, precious time. Once I heard her sing an angelic choir. It inspired me to dream, but I never dreamed about the fire that took Kadisha home, took Kadisha home, Kadisha. She was a dancer in the darkness, an unsung song of love, a page torn from my manuscript. Kadisha, Kadisha, Shalom, Kadisha, Shalom, Kadisha, Kadisha.
You know I still remember. Came so hard that I can't forget you. And I know that things have changed. Didn't think I'd see you again. Be alright if you never see me again. But for old times, Now you're here looking good as ever. Know that things have changed. Didn't think I'd see you again. I know you'll be alright if you never see me again. Oh, before old times to
think like